Hi, welcome. My name is Danica. I am the Senior Social Media Coordinator for California Psychics, and I'm here with Psychic Marin. Marin, how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic as always. Thank you. We were just chatting before we got started today, and I spent my weekend installing bees in my hive for May Day to celebrate Beltane. So that's how I spent my weekend. And I encourage anybody out there that doesn't know much about beekeeping or to take care of the bees. That's where my focus has been for this last week, honoring the bees and taking care of the bees.
That sounds like a beautiful way to spend a weekend.
Yes.
And we're getting a lot of questions coming in, so I just want to thank everyone that is tuning in. We do these almost every single Monday. We have different psychics every single week, and you can come in and ask your question for a chance to get it answered. A couple of ground rules before we get started. We unfortunately do not answer any questions about health or legal questions. This includes questions about pregnancy. So if you are answering those, we would prefer it if you would ask a different question. Another thing is when you are asking your questions, if you could make your questions as specific as possible. As during this first part of the reading, we'll be pulling questions, and it's helpful if those questions are specific. And if you're talking about another person, whether it's a crush or a friend or a coworker, if you could include their first name. But if you don't feel comfortable with that, we always do towards the last half, we switch to just pulling cards. You can be a little bit more vague with your questions there. You can just say, can I get a love card or a general card? So if you don't feel comfortable asking more specific questions during this first half, keep tuning in. We'll be back in the second half for those card pools. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. This question is going to come from Pollyanna. She's asking, will May be a financial good news?
Um, May 22nd, 23rd, like right towards the end of May, yes. But they're also telling me late July as well. So I'm wondering if you get news May, but then disbursement a little bit later. But yes, you will be happy.
And Sarah over on YouTube says, hi, Marin, will I meet someone new this year?
Yes, but this is not the person that you're really looking for or who I see you spending a long time with. June, July, August. Next summer, towards the end of next summer, is when I see you meeting somebody that's going to be the long-term significant relationship. There's somebody that's coming into your life that's late September. By December, it feels like it's a little bit of a relationship, and then it just crashes. So I don't want you getting your hopes dashed when they're showing me next August. That's when I get the relationship that's going to stick.
And Nina over on Facebook says, hi, I started talking with this guy Mike again. We talked a year ago and just started talking. Are we going to start to date?
Okay. Let me just look at this. The last, I'm sorry, I don't know if you've got an audio issue on your end, Danica. If there's a really loud buzz, can you hear that?
I can't. I can grab some headphones if that would be better to see if that works.
Can we try that? Because the last half of that question I didn't hear.
Give me one moment.
We're going to start to date. So I'm being talked to, so I can kind of paraphrase and answer the question regardless because they're giving me an answer. So are you going to start dating? They said yes. They're giving me the time frame of the first week of August. So I feel like this is going to be a delayed start, but by the early part of August, that's when it looks like it's exclusive and becomes more serious. By October, you've got the label of we are in a relationship.
Is this a little bit better?
It's not. So we'll just do the best we can, but you can take the headphones off because I can still hear the feedback. We'll We'll go for it, and I'll do the best that I can to. I might have to ask you to repeat something every once in a while.
Okay.
Me I'm on my phone. Okay.
This next one is going to come from Myrna. She says, I've been feeling really low on energy. Do you see bad energy around me or what's going on? Thank you.
You've got a combination. So yes, I feel like you're already aware of what we call energy vampires, of people kind of sucking that energy. So I don't get any paranormal activity that's disrupting sleep patterns or lifestyle. I'm getting more of personal relationships, but really it's nutrition, it's diet. And we've got to tiptoe around discussing medical and healthcare issues, but I encourage you to really do a deep dive into your diet and nutrition. And they just said you've already started, so you're on the right track. You've got about 3 more weeks before I see this starting to lift, but you've got a couple things going on. So by the end of this month, you should have it dialed in.
We'll pull another question from Facebook. This one comes from Amy Joe. She's asking, what is my love life looking like? What about my job?
Right. Love life looks like it's pretty slow right now. The difference between where we are at this point in May versus the end of May looks like it looks like it's picking up. Right now, I would almost say it looks non-existent. So it's slowly progressing. I'd say give it about 3 months, and then I see the happiness and you feeling content in this relationship. But right now, I'm just getting almost nothing. And then you had a question about job. Boy, there's not. I'm already 3 months out, and I'm not seeing any changes. They're giving me the timeline October. I'm getting new job situation for you, and it looks like it's towards the very end of October, first part of November. It's flat, and what they're showing me in this starkness and flat, no change, no progress. It's for you to get a new job. It's for you to get out.
And just a quick reminder, because we're getting a lot of new people coming in, as you're asking your questions, if you could try to make your questions as specific as possible. If you are talking about another person, whether it's a crush or your significant other or friend, if you could include their first name, that'll help us pick your question a little bit faster. Our next question is going to come from Carlene over on YouTube. She says, hello, Marin. My son Justin is still looking for a job. Do you see any prospects?
Yes. This is familiar. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to see his face. So he's being a little selective. And what they're showing me is he's got an opportunity that will be a temporary position, and then full-time. It starts off temporary, and then it becomes a permanent full-time position late July. So he's getting his foot in the door. I just see him being more selective, and I don't think that that's the best approach for him. Getting in there, starting the job, getting them to really like him and sign him on permanently. That's how I see this unfolding. So if you want to talk about details, I'm going to be on later tonight, but I don't want to. I know that you're in a tough position because he's really discouraged, but he's got to take action. He's got to do something, because right now I just see it building, and the frustration or really trying to choose something that's the perfect dream fit. I think there's a better approach.
And just a reminder, if anyone doesn't get their question answered, or if you do have some follow-up questions that you want to discuss with Marin, we have this promo code that is flashing at the bottom. Use that promo code LIVE5, and it's going to add $5 to eligible new customer packages. So make sure that you check that out. And as you're getting your reading, before you do that, make sure you sign up for our Karma Rewards program. What that's going to do is help you earn points so that you can earn free readings. Super awesome. You can add all of your favorite psychics to your psychic circle, and then you'll get extra points just for reading with them. And once a month, we have our Karma Rewards Days where you can earn even more points for getting those readings that you're already getting. So check that out before you get your readings. I found a great question from Kimmy over on Facebook. She says, I am trying to move at the end of the summer, early fall. Where do you see me moving to where I can be happy and thrive?
Nowhere that is on your radar. This is great. This is obscure because they keep showing me Nevada, and this just doesn't look like it's anywhere on your line of sight. What I'm getting looks like a position where you are rising to the top. It's affordability. It's kind of this vastness. It doesn't feel like this is anywhere where you would have chosen, but I just see you actually really loving it. I see you loving the stars. I'm wondering if you're interested in astronomy or astrology, because it's something about the vastness and the desert and the stars. And Nevada is one of those states that we don't hear about a lot or think about it as much, but that's something where I really want to draw your attention to.
We have a question from Christine over on YouTube. She says, hi, Marin, will I get the promotion that I interviewed for?
2 weeks. Yes, not this Friday, following Friday. So 2 more weeks. That was easy.
I love those. Well, since that one was easy, we'll pull another question over from YouTube. This one comes from Amber. She asks if you can describe her future boyfriend or husband.
Okay. So they started off, they said 3 years, and that was marriage. So 3 years is when I'm seeing marriage. So for some reason, that was another question or something that you wanted to know. He is, his skin tone is a little bit more olive, like Italian or Greek, like slightly darker, darker eyes, darker hair, 6'1"ish, 6'2"ish, more of a leaner but tone body. I feel like he's a couple years younger than you, and I keep getting the industry that he's involved in is health, nutrition, physical therapy, weightlifting. I think he's self-employed or he's subcontracted to work for companies, but he's got so much flexibility that the number one thing I'm seeing is that it gets you involved in more travel. And I think that he might be foreign or from, I keep thinking that it's an Italian connection, and he's probably not born in the States or came over. That's a lot of detail. So I hope that answers your question for you.
We're getting a lot of questions from people asking about deceased loved ones, which is fantastic. Just a reminder, if you are asking, we do need that person's first name, so you could include that. Our next question is going to come from Ash over on Facebook. She asks, does my dad, Ron, have a message for me?
What was the first name?
Ash.
But did she say the father's name?
Oh, Ron, sorry.
Ron. Okay. Oh my gosh, just that right when you said that, he said Ron. So hold on one second. He's talking about you've got to stay disciplined. You've got to stay disciplined, and it's in the context of career. And I'm wondering if you're trying to climb a rank or if there's military. The presence feels more like you've got to have that discipline to evolve to the next rank or get that next level. So he's emphasizing routine and structure and discipline. But he's right there, instant connection with him. So hopefully you feel that, or you're able to connect with him and communicate with him, because he's right there ready to speak.
These are moving super fast. We have another question from April over on Facebook. She asks, does Mom Donna have a message for us?
Donna. Good looking. There's a person. gosh, there's a younger female, and her name is, I think it's Serena or Serene. It's a very unique name, but it sounded like Serena. She's watching Serena, or she's telling me I'm with Serena. And it feels like it's a concern. It feels like it's health related, or that she's concerned about this person, that she's watching over them or trying to keep them safe. Not so much of a concern, that no concerns for you personally, or no urgent message. She's not a soul that's here all the time. I see a lot of bouncing back, a lot of activity, and I'm getting large families. So there must be a lot of siblings or a large family. She's saying she's with, I think it's Serena.
Andrea over on YouTube says, I found a few white feathers recently. Does this mean everything will be okay and the bad situation I'm in will be over soon? Is there good to come?
Feathers are interesting. And my husband's Native American, and so I know a little bit of the folklore and legend with feathers. Me personally, whenever I'm walking and I literally just step or go to step on a feather, the folklore behind it is, what were you thinking of that very second? What were you imagining, or what were you feeling or thinking that very second when you saw that feather? And that feather is bringing, as if the wings or the motion of the feather, it's bringing that energy or manifestation to you. A lot of people associate feathers with the afterlife and that it's a message from spirit, but I see it as this validation of, yes, it's happening. Yes, that's coming to you. When I'm looking at you, what I'm getting is, yes, that love is coming to you. Yes, that family, that abundance, or even more so, peace. So I'm getting it for you personally in the context of resolution of arguments, or resolution of family difficulties, or lack of sympathy and understanding amongst family members. So I hope that makes sense, because there's layers of what that message is. But for anybody else watching, pay attention when you are just about ready to step on a feather and you find that feather, and then you might want to take it and set it on your nightstand, or take it and put it in a place where you can focus on the dream or the goal to continue to put that energy towards it.
And if you are ever curious about, an animal sighting, or what seeing a repetitive number means, we have this section on our blog that is our meaning of section. It just says, what it could mean when you dream about your ex, or what it could mean when you see a tiger. So definitely check out our blog, californiapsychics.com. So much cool information that you can see. And if you are looking at your screen, go ahead and hit that follow button on Facebook and that subscribe button on YouTube. We come out with so much incredible content, and we have free horoscopes that come out every single day and every single week and every single month. Plus, you'll be notified every time that we have a live reading, so you'll never miss out on these. So go ahead and hit that follow button if you're on Facebook, or that subscribe button if you're on YouTube. And while you're doing that, I will pick another question. This one comes from Wendy over on Facebook. She says, hello, Marin. I'm happy at work. Do you see any changes in the future? Thanks.
What they're showing me looks like a little bit of a hiring surge, or that more people are being brought on. And then I'm seeing the result of that is then you're bumped up, you're promoted, you're in a position where you're in greater authority. I wish I could say that I saw you happier. It's just, it's a change of pace. It's different. The income's greater. The days go by a lot faster, and you're not working with the same people. So it's a step up, but I just don't see it being the end all. The fit is what's missing. Your natural gift is more oriented towards hands-on healthcare and healing work. And so I feel like you're not following what your calling is. And so you're going to feel this this feeling like you're not connected in your work, your heart's not in it. So I would really encourage you looking at how can I transition to whether I'm just volunteering or getting my foot in the door of somewhere where I really want to be, because this is just a circumstance that's going to continue and continue because you're not really called to be in the field that you're in right now. So you're making lemonade out of lemons, but there is a better alternative.
We have a question from Sandra over on Facebook. She asks, will my mom and I make it to Ireland this year?
Oh, give me a second. If you're planning, if it's very end of October, November, that's when I'm seeing this, and they're saying, yes, because you've got to write about it. Yes, because I don't know if it's a book or shorter article, but they're saying yes, because you have to write about it. So I hope that makes sense, but late October.
We have a question from Veronica over on YouTube. She says, my twin brother Tommy passed away 3 years ago. Does he have a message for me?
The message that I got was, yes, you're going to move, or yes, move. Yes, you're going to move. So I don't feel like that's the question that you were wanting or asking him, but he's trying to reassure you that it's okay to move, or yes, you're supposed to move, meaning physically leave your home or location. That's a very distant connection. There's a lot of heartache. Like sometimes souls are very much at peace, and he is not a soul that I would say is at peace. I feel like it was either something that was a tragedy or sudden or accident, or it just feels like it's more of that stuck energy of a soul that's just trying to find his place. And does he still belong here, or does he need to evolve? Boy, if you are interested in discussing this further, I'll be on later tonight, but I would encourage you opening up to try communicating with him. Even if you're writing, for some reason I keep getting images of you writing letters and leaving a letter for him. Like he needs to understand that it's okay, that his job is done here, because he's really stuck.
And if you do have any additional questions, or you want to get a reading from Psychic Marin, it is super easy to do so. You just go to the video description, whether you are on Facebook or on YouTube. We included a handy little link that links directly to Psychic Marin's profile. So you can just click that and then all set up for a reading. And for our customers looking for a deal, make sure to download our app. It's available on the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. Or visit our website. We do have $1 off per minute select psychics. So check out our hot deals. But I know what you guys are all here for. You're here for the questions, so we'll get back to that. This next one comes from Manishka over on YouTube. It's a pretty long one. She asks, will I get accepted into nursing school this year? If I do, will it be fall or spring semester? And what year will I graduate from university? Will my parents be proud of me?
Okay, so they're showing me, yes, you get accepted by the end of this year. It's spring semester, which is going to be better. I know that it's too soon. It's too much too soon if you were to undertake this fall of this year. So it's starting spring of next year. They said that it will be 2 years from that time that you're starting. And I mean, of course, your family is going to be proud of you, but they're just, don't be disappointed if they're not asking a lot of questions, or if they don't really understand a lot of the curriculum, or they can't really relate. So the questions are, it's not going to be much more than, well, how's school? How are you doing? I see them very supportive at the end when you are completing this. And this is a big thumbs up, because this is your calling, your destiny, and the only adjustment is I don't see you working with infants or working with younger children. I see you taking more of a medical esthetician. You're involved in something that's having to do with reconstruction, and it's more financially lucrative. You tend to feel less emotional pull on your heartstrings. The young infants and that field is going to be really emotional, so they're going to fine tune the field that you actually are in. I think, did I get all the questions? I think
the last one was, will my parents be proud of me?
Yeah, I think that's a given. They will be very proud at the end, but I just don't feel like they're going to understand or really know how to relate to what you're going through and ask the questions. But yes, they will be proud of you. They will be proud of you, even though you aren't going on to nurse practitioner or MD or any doctorate level. And I'm feeling like maybe that's where that question was coming into play. They will be proud of you. The schedule, your flexibility that you'll have with your schedule and lifestyle in about 3-4 years from now is fantastic. So you are going to be very happy.
This next question comes from Angelica over on Facebook. She says, hello, I need a reading on finance in particular, a large sum that I'm supposed to get this week so I can move out of state in 2 weeks. Will I get it this week, and will I move in 2?
You're getting it the 10th. So I think that's Monday next week. So it's close. On the 10th, funds are coming in, and I know that you're being very conscientious of the money and how this is spent, but I think that you are at a point in your life where this means a lot to you. You've wisened up, you're responsible, you're not going to go on these reckless, crazy spending sprees. In fact, I see you really doing well with budget and money management. I don't see any concerns for you moving forward. It just looks like the overwhelm of everything now happening and you not having as much support. So friends that have told you they'll help you, everybody just kind of scatters like cockroaches, and now you're left having to deal with a lot of this on your own. So that's the only disappointment that I don't see you foreseeing. So continue to get your ducks in a row, because there's just little glitches with the actual move and relocation and the timeliness of that.
Our next question is going to come from LaShonda over on Facebook. She asks, will me and Anthony be?
You and Anthony be in a committed relationship by August, September. Yes. So when I'm looking at early August, that's when I'm seeing this exclusive label. I'm feeling like I need to be a little bit more discreet, and I don't want to give out too much information publicly, but I felt like there was somebody else, that there was communication, or somebody else that was kind of interfering with the situation. And when I'm looking at early July, there's an outside family event. It's probably somewhere around 4th of July. And that's when I see this really feeling solid. You feel better by the end of July. This is exclusive. You've got that label and you're feeling good about the relationship moving forward.
Well, now is a great time to pause and tell everyone about some upcoming events that we have. So we'll be back next Monday, May the 10th, with Psychic Tegan. And we will actually be having someone getting a reading live on screen. So make sure you check it out if you're curious about what it's like to get a reading. These are super fun to watch. I love being able to witness them. They always give me chills. And then on the 17th, we won't be doing the live reading in a video format. We'll be doing our tarot live, which is where we'll have a post on all of our social media platforms, so Facebook, Instagram stories, Twitter, where you can ask your question, and Psychic Reagan doing 1-card tarot pools. So that's super easy. Make sure that you follow us. You can put a question on every single platform if you want to, for your chance to get one answered. And make sure that you hit follow, because we also do contests on our social media, and we get like some pretty cool things. we actually have been giving away a lot of our tarot decks. So if you've ever wanted your own tarot deck, it's a great way to just kind of get started. They're really beautiful cards. The following week, May the 24th, we will be back with Psychic Kerrigan. And with that one, we will also have somebody getting a reading done on screen. And then on the 31st, we will be here with Psychic Suki. So make sure that if you're on Facebook, you hit that follow button, YouTube, you hit that subscribe button, so that way you never miss out on these, because we do them super often. And we will pull another question. This one comes from Shauna, and she asks, will Joe and I ever talk again?
At the end of this year, you've got seven, almost 8 months towards the very end of this year. I just don't feel like this is going to reconcile, heal. It just looks like you guys are going in totally different directions.
This next question is a two-parter. It comes from Artilia over on YouTube. She says, hi, Marin. When can I expect Paul to work on things between us? Also, will my temporary job turn into full-time?
Okay. The temporary position will turn into full-time work in just under 3 more months, about 2.5 months. And then the question about the relationship, what was it? When can you expect Paul to, what was it, Danica?
To work on things between us?
I just don't. I don't see that. He's avoiding opening up. He's avoiding conversation. He's avoiding any sort of emotion. So the more that you're trying to bring this up or talk about problems or talk about difficulty, he's avoiding even more. He's going to start to silence or alienate from this a little bit more. The better approach, or what I'm seeing, is that you start to just withdraw more. You're going a little bit more silent, and you're expressing your hurt. You're expressing, you're changing. And it's not until I see you change and you not communicating as much and you being a little bit more silent and withdrawn that he sees that this is not the way to be in this relationship, that you're a little bit more frozen, you're a little bit more reserved. That's the only way I see him acknowledging or noticing that there's a problem. Any approach where you're wanting to confront this and directly talk to him about this, he's hiding. He'll just turn his back. He'll avoid conversation. I hate to give advice that I am telling you just go silent or avoid talking. But this advice is specific to you because I see that this is the best approach for him, because you want him to notice and understand that this relationship's not going to be sustainable for you with its current pattern. So anybody else listening, I usually don't advise that you just ignore and step back, but your relationship feels really solid, minus you wanting to get closer and him avoiding talking about emotion. So it's you changing your behavior, you withdrawing a little bit more for him to notice that you're hurting and for him to see that you're sad, and then taking an interest in wanting you to be happy, wanting to fix things. That's what's going to shift this.
And we have a lot of new faces coming in. So just a reminder that we unfortunately do not answer any questions about health or legal matters, which does include pregnancy. So you could ask something else that'll increase your chances of getting a question answered today. And then just a reminder that if you are talking about another person, if you could include their first name, whether you're talking about a loved one, or a romantic interest or a deceased loved one, that will just help us make sure that we can pick your question. And our next question is going to, already excited for tarot. This next one comes from Vanessa. She asks, will me and Chris be together forever?
Yes, they're showing, yes, you will be. They showed a move and like move and home and family. You're about 2 years out before you're starting this new beginning. So you've got about 2 years before it's that feeling of happily ever after.
And Angelica asks, are Matt and I meant to be?
That's yes. Gosh, you're familiar. That is a yes. And they said gosh, not even 2 more months, and you won't even feel the need to ask that question of me. Yes, you are meant to be together. Right now you're dealing with so much change, so much distraction that both of you aren't present for each other in this relationship. So by early August, that has completely changed. So keep plugging along because you're heading towards the right direction.
We'll pick one from YouTube. This one comes from Alexis, and she asks, will Leland and I work things out today? Will we get back together at any point?
It's a to be continued. So I'm seeing by fourth, fifth. By the fifth, that's when I'm getting that things will be resolved, and then the relationship continues. I feel like there's still some bumps in the road. It's a power struggle. The bottom line is he wants that respect, or he wants to be more of the man in the relationship, and there's a little bit of this power struggle, which is why the bickering continues. So I see you guys working it out, but the resolution of the more immediate situation they're showing me will be on the 5th.
And Lauren over on Facebook says, I've been feeling off lately and not so secure in my marriage. Is my husband Mario being faithful?
He's being faithful. And I don't get that he's got wondering eyes and that there are other people in his life that he's talking to. It's just this lack of energy. It's more of this stuck. I mean, the world's changed so much in the last year that he's trying to find his place in this. And so he's very withdrawn from the relationship and feeling kind of lost. And I think that, being that the stereotype of the male and feeling like he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders and that he should have a plan or he should be the provider, that's hard for him right now. And so I just see him more withdrawn from life, not just you. I think that the easy approach is a lot of nurturing and a lot of comforting and cuddling and love and attention, which is probably the opposite of what you're feeling like doing right now if you're suspicious or you feel that he's withdrawn. But he needs to feel like he belongs, and he needs to feel like that he's loved by you and that you're still proud of him in this relationship.
We can do a couple more questions, and then do you want to switch over to the tarot pools?
Sure. Yeah, we can do a couple more, and then we'll switch. I got my cards.
We'll pick one from YouTube. This one comes from Gabriella. She asks, will me and Jordan be in a relationship, and will it last?
It's not something that I see that's exclusive. Be careful. There are a lot of lingering women around, a lot of chit chat, a lot of flirtatiousness. I don't see it being a relationship where you're going to be happy. So be careful, eyes wide open on this one.
And this one comes from Stephanie on Facebook. She asks, is the connection I have with Daniel real?
It's real, but the physical proximity, like there's something about distance, or you're not together, or you can't see one another. It feels like it's almost 3 more months before this starts to feel like a real relationship. So it's really flirtatious, playful. It's hard right now because your heart's wide open and you're wanting to build this relationship, but you've got to trust that by taking this approach and being very open, which makes you feel really vulnerable, this is how you guys are getting so close. And then in about 3 months is when it starts to become physical. And I'm thinking there might be a distance geographically that's what's making it harder for you to be around each other. But I do see this working out. He's a little bit more shy than what you realize. So hiding behind a phone and being able to have a little bit more of a digital relationship that's developing initially, that's what's best for him. So that's why it's not moving so fast on the physical level, which will be okay for both of you in the long run.
Before we switch over to the tarot pulls, just a couple of reminders that if you do have any additional questions or your question didn't get answered, please get a psychic reading. If you want to get a reading with Marin, so you just go to the video description, whether you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube. We have a link that will take you directly to our bio, so you can just go there and sign up for your reading. But before you do that, go ahead and sign up for our Karma Rewards program. It's going to give you points for those readings you're already getting. So you're already getting those readings, and then you can earn free readings by earning points. And there are a bunch of different ways to earn points. You can add all of your favorite psychics to your psychic circle, and you'll get extra points. You can check us out on the Karma Rewards days when you can get even more points for getting those readings. And when you sign up, you get a free birth chart, which has so much cool information. I loved reading mine and learning more about other than just my sun sign. We all grow up knowing our sun sign, but you might not know your moon sign or what houses you have, and it's just a great way to just kind of get a little bit of that information. And then just a reminder, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, you hit that follow button or that subscribe button. You'll be notified every time that we have these live readings. Every Monday, except for the third Monday of the month. We will be back next week with Psychic Tegan. And then the week after that, we will have our tarot live on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where you can ask a card for a chance to have Psychic Reagan ask a question for a chance to have Psychic Reagan pull a card for you. So definitely check us out on social media because we do have those tarot lives. We also have contests where you can win some pretty cool things. And we have a contest coming up that's pretty cool, so check it out. But in the meantime, we will get back to pulling for cards. Just a reminder for this one, you don't have to ask a specific question. So if you don't want to include somebody's name, you could just say kind of a career card or love card or a general card if you aren't really sure what you want to ask. So we'll go ahead and pull them. This first one comes from Marianne over on Facebook, and she is asking for a love card.
Okay, you've got the Justice card, which is about balance. It's about balance. It's about fairness. It's about equality in the relationship and making sure that you hold your ground so it is fair.
This one comes from Jess. She's asking for Marhit's feelings and thoughts for her.
Okay. You've got the Emperor, and the Emperor is a position of power. It's this position of prestige and often real stubbornness of somebody that's not budging. So it's kind of like is it my way or the highway energy that will come out in this relationship. As far as thoughts about you, I think that he really wants the traditional idea of a relationship and partnership. But he's got a little bit more of a tendency to want to dominate or protect you. So you may feel that power struggle at times in the relationship.
Lisa over on Facebook is asking for a general card.
Okay. Gosh, you've got the Nine of Wands, which is a little bit of a guardedness, a little bit of a fear, and finding that courage to embark on something new or to deal with a difficult situation.
Fareed over on YouTube is asking for a love card.
Love card. Okay. Oh, you've got the Knight of Wands, which is fiery passion, energy. So if you don't have somebody in your life right now, you do. So there's somebody that's in your life that's been a little bit more stagnant, and this is now the sexual energy and chemistry that's being kicked up a notch.
Melissa over on Facebook is also asking for a love card.
Okay, Melissa, you've got Temperance, which is healing. So this is also a balance card, but it is indicating that the relationship will be healing or repairing or growing, or often it indicates somebody that you are in a partnership or relationship with that is in a medical field, or somebody that has a more healing gift or nature.
Adrian over on Facebook says, hi, my daughter was dating a boy last year. Is she in a serious relationship with him? Can I get a love card for her?
Ooh, this is the Three of Swords. This is one of the hardest, most painful cards in the deck pertaining to love. I think that this is an indication that this relationship is going to cause a lot of heartache as she's trying to navigate this. In a reverse position, this card's not as bad because it would indicate that these swords are going to fall out and things would heal. But this is really one of the hardest cards, and it's very specific to love and heartache. So I think that there's some difficulty in this relationship, or things that she may not be telling you or concealing from you, so you don't worry about her.
Rose over on YouTube is asking for a money card.
Oh, and you got one. This is the Eight of Pentacles, which shows monotony, redundancy, doing the same thing over and over and over again, sometimes to achieve perfection, or sometimes it's showing you you're going to do the same thing over and over and over again. And if that's not what you want to do, maybe it's time for a career change or a lifestyle change, because it's a card of habit and routine.
This one comes from Avantika over on YouTube, and she's asking for a career card for the next 7 days.
Okay, next 7 days. Career card for the next 7 days. This is really interesting because this doesn't, let me ask. If you have this temporary career for 7 days, then that would make sense. Otherwise, they're saying this is not going to last. You're going to be leaving. This is the Six of Swords, which is saying you're leaving for higher ground. You're leaving to a better situation. So if this was a temporary position and then you intended on leaving, that's what this would indicate. I don't feel like this is going to be the best fit, or eventually you're going to be wanting to leave and look elsewhere.
And if you aren't really sure what kind of card you want to ask for, just a reminder, you can always ask for a general card, like Lori on Facebook is doing.
And Lori got the Empress, which is this beautiful woman seated on her throne, the love goddess, love energy. And often this card comes up to denote motherhood and future contemplation of fertility and childbearing. So if you're at that stage in your life, you may be feeling these thoughts, or this energy may be surrounding you.
This one was different. This one comes from Araceli over on Facebook, and she is asking for an outcome card.
Well, this is the Magician, card number 1 in the Tarot deck, which is somebody that has all the tools. He's got the cup, the pentacle, the chalice, and the wand, all of the 4 elements. And he's aware of how to manifest, so he can take that energy from above and manifest below. So this is a card of very significant power and spiritual connectedness to where it shows me that what you're doing, you understand the ways of manifestation. So this is a really successful card.
Lisa over on Facebook is asking for a career card.
Okay, Lisa. So you've got the Page of Swords, which often comes up when you need to defend yourself, when you've got to cut out the minutia and the headaches and the nonsense, or you've had enough, you're done, you've got a sharp tongue, you're fighting. It's a lot of protected guardedness because you're not happy. So it's there's a little bit of a fight in you.
This one comes from Fareed over on Facebook, and they're asking for a card about Xenon's feelings and moves towards them.
Okay. You've got the Seven of Cups, and this card is also known as somebody that has their head in the clouds. It's the card of somebody that's kind of the dreamer, that it's often associated with the 7 deadly sins and the 7 gluttony. It's somebody that is not so present and focused on you or present and focused on their life. It's somebody that's kind of a dreamer. A head in the clouds is what that card is known as.
Getting a lot more about love cards. Kim over on Facebook is asking for one.
So, Kim, you've got the Hanged Man, which is you're stuck. This is a stuck love relationship situation. So, in an upright position, it would be evolving. You're really stuck. Things are at a gridlock. I was just going to see if there's any more message from that. I don't see a relationship ending. I just feel like it's avoidance right now.
We have Tequila over on Facebook is also asking for a love card.
Okay. Oh, 5 of Wands, which is tension and fighting. It's a battle card.
And then Felicia on Facebook is asking for a general card.
Okay, Felicia. You have the King of Cups. King of Cups is somebody that is more emotional, that's not afraid of feelings, not afraid of love and cuddling and good stuff and getting closer. So you've got a male that's present in your life that's wanting love, wanting to nurture you, and may on the negative spectrum, maybe a little more emotional, a little clingy, or a little whiny at times because they just wear their heart on the sleeve.
Our next question is going to come from Cassandra. She asks, is anything good happening in my life soon?
Okay, Cassandra. Oh, whew. You've got the 10 of Swords, which is in a reverse position. In an upright position, this card would indicate that you're done. Put a fork in me. You're spent. You're frustrated. In a reverse position, it's indicating that the worst is over and now things are going to start to improve. So the fact that you're asking, is anything happening good or anything in your life that you can look forward to that's happening good? This card would validate that you've been through a lot, that life has not been easy, but it's going to get easier. And they also say if we're looking at a calendar, by October 1st, you're happy again. So it's a longer recovery in bouncing back from a difficult situation, difficult life.
Just a reminder, we do have a promo code that is flashing at the bottom of the screen. 5 is going to get $5 added to eligible new customer packages. And for anyone looking for a deal, make sure that you check out our app and our website. We do have $1 off, $1 per minute off select psychics. It's a great way to just save a little bit of money. And this next question is going to come from Lexi over on YouTube. She's wondering what's going to happen between my ex and I.
Okay. You got the 9 of Cups, which is the card of abundance. But this is a little bit tricky to translate in your situation. This is something where they're telling me that he's being more guarded. He's being more stubborn. He wants you to chase after him. You guys are at a little bit of a standoff right now. So this card may be a little bit deceiving or hard to interpret. This is basically him. So this posturing and this stance of, well, I've got it all. You come over here if you want this relationship. It's requiring you to chase after or reach out, and basically you'd have to do the work.
We have 5 minutes left, which is still a lot of time to get through as many questions as possible. So make sure that you keep commenting your questions. We'll try to go as fast as we can. This next one comes from Kimmy on Facebook asking for a money card.
Okay. Money card for you. This is the Knight of Cups. So this is indicating that you've got to take action. You've got to work towards it. There's more effort on your part necessary rather than just a windfall of money coming in. It's the message of get on that horse, saddle up, work towards it, work harder if you want that financial abundance.
And Kimberly over on Facebook is asking for a love card on her marriage with her husband, Eric.
So this is a good card. This is the World, which is the card of completion out of all of the 78 cards in the tarot. This is the closing finality in the major arcana. And it's a card of perfect balance. So you may not always feel like you've got the world in this relationship, and there may be difficulties, but this is that soul connection. There is depth, there is solidness in this relationship. And, you know, a lot of people misunderstand that a soul partnership or a soul mate doesn't always mean that it's sunshine and rainbows. There still can be difficulties, but the difficulties are met with a genuine partnership and how you approach those difficulties. So that is what you have. That's what this relationship is.
Another one from Facebook. This one comes from Myra asking for a money card.
Okay, Myra, you've got the Four of Cups, which is almost like an oblivion that you're missing out on an opportunity. This is seen as a little gift over here. It's a spiritual gift. It's a divine opportunity where here you go. Here's some money. Here's some work opportunity. Do you want it? And your focus is elsewhere. So you're missing an opportunity that could be very lucrative and financially abundant.
This next one comes from Darlene over on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in, asking for a love card.
Love card for you is the Queen of Cups. We had the King of Cups earlier. This is the Queen of Cups. So this is the female equivalent. And often this card is signifying you. It's signifying that you are somebody that is emotional, that's in tune, that's very confident and aware of feelings and emotions and wanting a deeper connection and relationship with someone. So you definitely don't live on the surface when it comes to love. You want that depth and that connectedness with a partner that's going to allow for a very strong emotional connection.
All right, we got time for 2 or 3 more questions. So question one last time. We'll pull one right now from Marjorie asking for a general card.
Marjorie, you got the Ace of Swords, which is a thumbs up. It's a go for it. Often this card is associated with intellect and academics. So anything in your life that you are contemplating, this is a thumbs up for that area. Go for it.
All right, we'll do 2 more real quick rapid announcements. Whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, hit that like or hit that follow or that subscribe button so you'll never miss out on these. We'll be back next week with Psychic Tegan. But check us out on our other social media platforms as well. We have contests, we have horoscopes, all of this incredible content that you don't want to miss out on. And if you do want a reading, Psychic Marin's profile is in the video description on Facebook and YouTube. And we also have the promo code at the bottom and our hot deals on our website and in our app. So check that out and join our Karma Rewards program so that you can earn free readings. Last 2, this one is from Alexis asking for a general card.
Okay, Alexis, you've got the 3 of Wands, which is the soul searcher. You're looking for new potentials and opportunities. Keep searching.
Last one. This one comes from Patty over on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in, asking for a relationship.
Oh, you got the Chariot. This is the card of it's ready to start rolling. It's going to go into motion, action. Like it's moving forward. You've been at a standstill, and now things are ready to take off.
Thank you so much for everyone that tuned in. Don't forget to hit that follow or that subscribe button so you never miss out on these. We'll be back next week with Psychic Tegan, and the following week we'll have our Tarot Live with Psychic Reagan. Marin, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, and thank you everybody for your questions and joining today. Have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.